Hey, how's everyone doing? This is Jason again with the Axe Marker. We're going to do a little Q&A today. Got some questions sent over to me, so we're going to take some time to answer some of them. First of all, I do want to say thank you for everyone who has been subscribing to me and watching my videos and definitely actually going out and buying the Axe Marker just due to the videos I make myself. Thank you very much. I 100% respect you. Thank you so much. Okay, so the first thing we're going to cover today is I got a question from the shooting video I did about what kind of mask I wear. Well, I do wear the Empire Event. I always rock either a ninja lens or a smoke lens. They're the best ones. I like them. You know, they keep the sun out of your face, which is a good thing. I got this mask when it first came out, so I did pay about $100 for it. Kind of dumb, I know. Then what I did is, of course, I got the white one, kind of stand out a little bit, so, you know, never hurts to stand out in the crowd. Then what I did is I went and bought what's called a mask wrap, which is kind of cool. Let me see if I can zoom in here. I got the ones with the skulls on them, and I basically can just, you know, it's just like a sticker. It doesn't come off easily, and it stays on pretty good even after getting shot with paint a couple times on Saturday. Don't want to go there. Now, the mask, the wrap, and everything I did get from ansgear.com. I live in Fillmore, California, and ANS is in Simi, so basically I drive to that storefront. Great guys, I know everyone there, really cool people. Drop them a line. I do recommend buying from them. They'll help you out 100%. So the other question I got was, what kind of upgrades would I recommend for the Empire Axe? Well, of course, I do recommend barrels. You always want to get some good barrels. The two kinds I rock is I do have an Angel slapstick with a 6.89, a 6.87, and a 6.93 bore size. Great barrel. This is my 16-inch. I have a 16-inch and a 14-inch CP. It's a great barrel. Very quiet. Pretty good on accuracy too, and it won't break the bank. I actually got this whole kit from A&S. They were having this really good sale. I got it for pretty dirt cheap. If you can find one of these, get it. I recommend it. The next barrel system I have is a custom products. I have three backs. I have a 6.89 right here, a 6.85, and for the really small paint I shoot, a 6.82 with a 14-inch tip. Same thing, great barrel system. It does not break the bank. I know there's so many different barrel systems now on the market, and some of them are really good price, and other ones are ridiculously too expensive. When it comes to barrels, find a barrel system you like. I know a lot of people talk trash about the CP. A lot of people talk trash about the Angel. But you know what? They work great for me. I recommend them, but of course that's my own opinion. Don't quote me on that. So definitely just, you know, do homework on barrel systems. Take a look at them. Find a barrel system you like and stick with it. Don't listen to anyone else. That's the best thing to do about it. The other question I did have was if I could explain the firing modes a little bit more simple, you know, because I mean in the manual it's like reading VCR instructions. So let's just make it a lot simple for you. Okay, so of course, semi, that's easy. Basically, every time you pull the trigger, you can get one ball. That's pretty simple. Now, with PSP ramping, okay, PSP ramping is basically when the gun is in PSP mode and you start going to town on the trigger. If you get the trigger pull for the first three shots, you're in semi. The fourth one, you go into PSP, and then the marker will ramp. I believe out of the box it's 3 extra balls. So basically it's kind of like 1, 2, 3, 4. All of a sudden 3 balls come out. And as long as you can keep up with the speed of the trigger, it's going to stay in ramping. Now, of course, the only downside with ramping, you can pretty much kiss your paint goodbye. You're going to be laying paint left and right, and you're not going to be getting too much accuracy, if you ask me, only because you're mostly spraying and praying. Now, of course, the next mode is full auto NXL. Now, what that mode is basically, if you're just doing this, it's going to be in semi. But once you get to 3 shots, the 4th shot, hold the trigger, the gun will shoot in full auto. Now, the interesting thing with full auto, you think, oh, full auto, I'm going to shoot faster. In my opinion, you do not. The fastest way you shoot, if you ask me, is in semi. It sounds weird, but just experiment with it a little bit, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Now, the last one is ramping millennium. Now, the only big difference, of course, with ramping and ramping millennium is basically just one is PSP, and then the other one is Millennium Series. Now, with the Millennium Series, what this actually is instead of, the big difference, instead of 3 trigger pulls, Millennium, you have to get all the way up to 6 trigger pulls before the gun will kick into ramping. Now, the ramping value is set in programming number 5. If you have a problem with that one, if you want to learn about that, I did cover that in my programming video, so definitely check that one out. Now, as far as the mini upgrades, Empire did release what's called the Empire Nano feed neck. I like it. I'm probably going to get it pretty soon. It's really small, it's really lightweight, and it is astronomically awesome. You know, I mean, it definitely, I believe, let's see if we can zoom in here. With the Nano, your feed neck will only go to about where my finger is. And it has a more heavier duty locking mechanism, and it's basically worth the money. I recommend that upgrade at least. Now, the bolt system, not the bolt system, but the bolt is the same as in the Mini. Now, I do not recommend that. Stay with the original bolt. It works great. You don't need to go out and blow your money on something that you don't really need. Okay? Now, here's the real kicker that I'm getting a little bit, I don't want to say controversy, but I'm getting some argues here. The Virtue Board. Okay, everyone's saying it's the same. No, it is not. If you put a Virtue Board in this, here is what happens. 2 things will happen. 1, the gun will not go out of program mode. Program mode will come on every time you power on your marker, which is definitely not going to help you in the field. Second thing that happens is when you're sitting here and you're going to town, what happens is the gun will not fire. The board cannot keep up with the trigger pull. Now, the only thing that I can remotely even think of is probably our biggest problem that we're having is in the actual eye board. The Mini uses the sensor. That's all it uses. It uses basically a sound-activated sensor that once it hits, the gun fires. While the Axe uses a micro. That, I believe, is conflicting with the programming. So if you want to get the Empire Axe Virtue Board, wait a little bit. You know, let's give them some time to perfect it, because there's still a lot of problems with that. So yet again, definitely, you know, you do want to get a barrel system. I would recommend the Empire Nano. Everything else on the marker is fine. Don't worry about anything else. Yet again, I buy all my stuff from ansgear.com. They're great guys. Definitely, you know, give them a buzz, talk to them. Perfect. Their prices are unbeatable. Other than that, if anyone has any more questions or any more in-depth, just give me a buzz, drop me a line. Other than that, thank you very much. And this is Jason with the Empire X.